been trying to think of all the things or some of the subjects or going through subjects in my head about what to talk about in this week's video. I keep thinking, should I do, my favourite programming language of all time? I think we hinted at that a few times. But I thought, just randomly a minute before I start this video, I know what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the year 2000. Now, I had quite a funny time around that. Let me change hands a second. Because I started a new role at I think it was about the April, something like that, in 1999. Still quite, I'd been a graduate for a couple of years at that point, so I was still quite a low level. And I've talked about this company or this role in the past, where this is one I was first made redundant from, because there's been a few over the time, and the one where they overspent and how you should always be very cautious about how you choose a new role. And if you want to know more, go back and look in the videos from 3-4 weeks ago. So as she was working in this role, and then I was actually made redundant sort of around mid-December 1999, and then I didn't start another role until the January 2000, or was it the February? I can't remember. At that time, there was actually loads of roles available, so as a kind of a junior engineer, it was really easy to get another job. Just a little bit more difficult now, and also the way recruitment was done and the various other things and who they accepted, it was a lot more simple. But anyway, year 2000. So I wasn't actually in a company for the click over from 1999 to 2000. And for those who don't know what the year 2K bug was, the Y2K bug, I should say, you can look it up. I'll try and remember the exact details now, but it was all about the date, time, how there was going to be a problem in that they'd used, I can't remember the exact detail now, but it was like a short or an integer or something, that it basically was hitting the end of the last number, because it was started in, I think, the clock ticking at something like in 1970, and then by 2000 it had run out of numbers, basically. So there's this big issue about, the world's going to end in that all computers are going to break, and, missiles are going to probably fire, and all this sort of stuff going on that people were talking about at the time, all these kind of rumours and all this, well, crap, to be very honest, was going on. And also, I think that at the time it was less of an impact on Unix machines, was it? If I remember. Again, look at the details. It's been a long time ago, 25 years ago, and I can't remember the exact details now. I was quite a junior developer anyway. But I just remember at the time all these people talking about this doomsday stuff, and it was kind of like a dead firework at the end of the day. Kind of a couple of things might have small issues, but that was it. It was like a dead firework, nothing really happened. But I do remember when I went to college, early 90s, just before I went to university, I did, as part of my course, I did a programming course, and their language of choice, and I think it was only purely because they also had people did Pascal there, but the tutor that we had came from a COBOL background, so they taught us COBOL. As I say, there were some Pascal ones. I was really hoping to get the Pascal ones. As it happened, when I went to university, I went on to Modular 2, which is Pascal. Sort of, there's some relation there. And again, I can't remember. I haven't looked at Modular 2 or Pascal since then, to be honest. But they did COBOL. And I remember at the time, because of a lot of these dodgy systems were written in COBOL, that they were like paying shed loads of money for COBOL, at the time anyway, for COBOL developers. Although I never actually did any COBOL, never admitted to it after that. But yeah, for me, it was like a bit of a fuzz, it literally just was a dead firework. And I think from the impression I got from a lot of people I knew at the time, it was exactly the same. They never had any encountered any issues. It's a possibility because of the work that was going on before that switchover in '99. There was a lot of work going on to try and resolve these issues before they happened. But yeah, that was my kind of my experience of the Y2K bug. It was zero experience of anything bad. And I do remember that I could still use bank machines and mobile phones and everything else. Although I must admit the mobile phone at the time was a very basic one. It used to text message. But yeah, no issue at all. I don't know if any of you guys were sort of around at that time and working in IT and had any different experiences. It'd be interesting to find out, to be fairly honest. But yeah, Y2K, my experience of it, does firework. Never had any problems. I don't know about you. Anyway, I'm going to start saying now, please like, subscribe, and all that kind of stuff if you enjoy these videos, because I heard it's a good thing to do. So yeah, please like it and subscribe for more. Right, I'll speak to you all next week. Bye for now.